Yeah, these are the first ever carbon trees. You've seen the trees at Castle Cary Primary School. That's the first coppice planted to take people carbon neutral. That was Maureen from the pet shop. And these are iconic trees that I planted subsequent to that, around about the same time. And it was an extraordinary time, actually. It was 1988, and I lived here in Butwell Villa. And I was recovering from a serious car accident, and I had a tree over the River Brue just down here, a willow tree that I would sit in every day, and I made 100% recovery. And after I got better, I thought, well, what can I do for the tree? And the tree I got this incredible sense of go out and plant as many trees as you can. And that day, I'd read a report from Hansen, the NASA scientists, saying that greenhouse gas would be a real problem. And there was this thing called carbon sequestration. So I was walking my dog Ben up this railway path here, and I thought I'll go and buy some dog food. And so I walked into Castle Cary. I didn't go home. And as I was walking in, I thought, Maureen, I'll ask her if I could do something about her pet shop, running her business, and see if I could absorb her CO2 and make her a sequestered person. So I had a word with her, and she said, how much is that going to cost me then, Daniel? And I suggested I plant some trees. And I said, well, look, give us £3 and I'll plant some trees. So she did. And that was the first ever transaction that ameliorated her greenhouse gas of her shop. I planted her this tree and some other trees you're going to see in a second. And I planted the trees around the Castle Cary Primary School first. And then I thought to myself, my gosh, what have I done? Carbon sequestration is a terrible term. And then I thought, well, I've taken Maureen carbon neutral. And so that was, I think, the origin of the term carbon neutral. Certainly I'm the pioneer of that arena. I trademarked the term as well shortly afterwards. Interestingly, quite a few people said we're using the term back at me in 1990, 91. So I always thought it was part of the zeitgeist, but it turns out that pretty much 1988 was the first ever carbon amelioration. And interestingly, you'll see in this that Lord Nick Stern opened the Doha COP18, with a reference to this tree and Maureen and the Castle Cary pet shop and the beauty of this environment that we're in, overlooking Glastonbury Tor.
It was on this day 25 years ago that Maureen, at a pet shop in Castle Cary in the village of Glastonbury, near the town of Glastonbury, Somerset in the UK, after a carbon audit of the activities of her pet shop, was sold by Daniel Murrow of Carbon Markets Association a carbon sequestration certificate, and the tree involved in carrying through that sequestration was planted and is alive and flourishing in Somerset. So Daniel Murrow, if you're here, would you stand up? Thank you very much. Give 25 years ago, and just a few years after that, the Rolling Stones made the first carbon-free rock tour of the world. So occasionally positive things do happen, however difficult this may seem. So that's the celebration, and I just wanted to mark it in this way.
So that's the beginning of what became the voluntary carbon market.